Alright guys, today is the day that I've been trying to put off for the longest time, as if I wouldn't have had to do it. Not too shabby. What's up guys, DIY Salvage Guy here. Welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to be dealing with the thing that I've been putting off forever. So, we had the body panel pulled out by Wayne's Auto Body. Thank you to them. And now we need to actually slab on that Bondo, level it out. Never done Bondo before, never done body filler, whatever you want to call it. Had some struggles with this, took an extremely long time. Attention to detail is key with this. And I wanted to make sure that it came out perfect. So if you guys see anything that I'm doing wrong, please point it out, let me know. Because I do want to get better at this. I know it's not perfect, but purpose of this channel is to learn as we go. So if you guys are new here, please make sure you guys smash that subscribe button down below. Everyone else, thank you guys so much for being here and continuing to support me. Please make sure you guys smash that like button, comment, interact with me. I will get back to you. DM me over on Instagram. I'll always get back to you guys. Also make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere else that you guys see that DIY Salvage Guy logo. I am there. I will interact with you and get back to you. Also make sure you guys ring that bell down below on YouTube. That way you guys can stay up to date on the build and everything else that goes on this channel. Also, we just launched a new merch line, so please check the website down below. All proceeds that we get from these sales are going 100% back into the channel to bring you guys better and better content every single day. Alright guys, today is the day that I've been trying to put off for the longest time, as if I wouldn't have had to do it. So what we're going to do today is, we had this pulled out by Wayne's Auto Body. Thank you to them very much. And so now what we need to do is kind of just hammer this down a little bit, push the weld spots in slightly. And what we're going to do is, we're going to sand this all down. It's rusting a little bit, so we got to make sure that all that rust is out. Then what we need to do is, we're going to take some fiberglass body filler and basically just layer this down, smooth it out. We're going to sand it all up. We want to make this even with the door. Now, I am not opposed, even at this stage, to replacing this quarter panel. I know it was hit coming this way. The body is bowed out ever so slightly, maybe a millimeter, but so it tells me that there is quarter panel damage. But what I can do is, if I can get these body lines to be perfect, I don't think I need to worry about it. So, but if it does come out poorly, then I'm fine with that. So it's another thing that I can learn. But right now, we're gonna hope for the best. So we need to put a thin layer, maybe about 2 millimeters or something right along here. We're gonna throw some Bondo over top of that to make sure it's a nice smooth surface. And we're just gonna fill in all this. Then what we also need to do is make sure that this body line going across the door is also straight. So we're gonna have to, basically all these spots that are pushed in a little bit, we're going to have to layer up some Bondo and, well, body filler, not really Bondo, onto there. And down here we're gonna have to layer it up a little bit more as well, just so that the panel gaps and everything are good. You know, we'll see how it comes out. I'm not certain it's going to be perfect, but we can always replace the quarter if we need to. But as you guys know, on this channel, we are learning as we go. I'm trying to do budget builds for everything, so I want to make sure that this is as budget friendly as possible. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's the end of it. So, but we'll get started on this now. So we're going to sand that down, make sure that it's all good. And then we'll just start applying some of the fiberglass. First thing we're going to do is get the vehicle up on the quick jacks, because it's a little low right now and I think it'll be easier to work on if it's elevated. Second thing is, we're going to have to take the fender off eventually anyway, so that wheel needs to come off, so the jack's going to have to be under there. So we'll just do that right now. So first thing we're going to do is we can get this door sill off. Looks like there's a little rust under here, so if we're doing the job right now anyway, we might as well pull this whole thing off. I'm hoping that it's kind of either just glued on or stuck on, so we'll see what we can get under there as far as tools go. Then we're gonna have to sand this whole thing down, maybe hammer this down a little bit as well because this is a little dented, and sand this whole thing as well. So we'll get started on that now. I don't know exactly how to get this off. I might have to heat it up. It might be glued on with some adhesive. I'm unsure at this point. I'm going to try to just pick it up with this first. So there's rust all under here, so we're gonna take this whole thing out. Pop it off. Looks like we'll have to get some double-sided tape in order to get it back on, no big deal. Alright, so showing you guys, got this off, got all the double-sided tape off and everything. So it looks like there's like rust spots throughout the entire aspect of this. Probably from about here all the way up to here, maybe even more. Probably have to pull the door trim off a little bit and the molding, weather stripping, whatever it's called. But this whole area is going to get resprayed anyway, so I'm really not too worried about it. We'll sand everything down and we'll make it ready for paint, and you know, we'll be good to go as soon as we can get into the paint booth. So, but we'll do the whole thing here, and so we're gonna get started on kind of trying to hammer some of this in and level some of it out, and we'll sand it down and throw some of that body filler on. Just learning as we go, guys. Just gonna try to pound this down a little bit, just even it out. We're gonna throw some Bondo all over this. Looks good now. I mean, it's not perfect obviously, but it's pretty much smoothed out in terms of dents, so we'll go with that. Rest of this, I know that this needs to come out, so it might be better to leave it like that, that way we have the spots that we can fill in, because we're gonna have to layer it pretty thick on here. That's why we're using fiberglass and not just the regular body filler. And so, I mean, can't really waste any more time with this, guys. We're gonna sand this down, get it all nice, and then we'll start with the body filler. We'll just see how it goes. So we're gonna start with the DA, see how it works. Not certain if it's gonna do too well on this. Might have to go by hand, but we are going to start with the 60 grit and just see what it does. whole thing's sanded down pretty good. Still have a couple primer spots on here, but shouldn't be an issue because we did get it in there. We just didn't take all of the primer off itself. So we're going to start filling this in with some fiberglass. Give it a nice clean with some wax and grease remover. Alright guys, we're going to be using some Evercoat, I guess Everglass short strand. Give this a shot. We'll mix it up on here. We'll start small and we'll just build up from there. So I've never used this stuff before, so we'll have to see how it goes. Give it a nice mix. Got the hardener. And we'll just see how it goes, guys. Knead this real quick, mix it up. Put a strip right across the center. This cap back on, and we're just gonna mix. Make sure it's nice and mixed, and then we'll just make sure that it's spread out so it increases the working time. And we'll just go plop this on over onto the car. Like it's starting to kick already, so I think that'll be it. So we clearly wasted a lot. It's very unfortunate, but we'll start with that. We'll let it dry up, and now we know for next time not to do so much. All right, so it's kicked now. We're just going to hit it with a quick sand. First layer of fiberglass went on. Not perfect, but I know I need to do a lot of layers of it. So we're gonna go smaller, with a smaller area. So close the door, see how close we are. We kind of just filled in the welds right now, so it's pretty smooth, except for the spots that you can obviously see. But we'll clean it up again, wax and grease remover, and now I think we'll start building a little bit, because it does need to build up. We're gonna have to build kind of just a layer here, smooth it out, and then build a layer kind of out a little bit, tiny bit, not too much. It's about 1 millimeter off. Right down here is gonna be the problem, but we'll see. We'll see what we do when we get down to there. So we're going to build the edge now with the door closed. So we're just going to tape it up. So it took an extremely long time, but I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it is really close right now. And that's with the fiberglass Kevlar. So we'll throw a little Bondo on there, we'll smooth the rest out. But I think the fiberglass did its job right now. Looking pretty good. You know, it's still a little rough around the edges, still a little bumpy and wavy, but for the most part, this came out pretty good. So once we get the actual Bondo on there, we will be able to smooth the rest of this out, and then we'll get the rattle can on there, just so it doesn't rust anymore. And we should be good for paint over here. So the only issue there might be a little bit of a gap right here. So I'll probably just layer the Bondo on slightly thicker there, just to make sure that that gets evened out. But I mean, it looks really good. I'm pretty happy with the way that it came out. I think that it's you know, for no body work or anything, no experience. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, learning as I go. I didn't think this would be perfect. I am by no means a professional, and if it doesn't come out perfectly, then you know, it's why the car's my nephew's right now instead of me selling it. So we'll see how it goes. We'll throw the Bondo on there, throw the rattle can on, and then we'll call it a day. Got the Bondo, and we'll apply a very thin layer here and fill everything in. Alright, so it's the next day. I'm gonna pick up where I left off yesterday. I was getting really tired, so I knew that I was going to start sacrificing quality where I can't do that. So I basically took a break yesterday, and I'm just gonna give you guys a quick close-up shot of how it looks. So we still have to do some sanding up here, make sure that this is all evened out. It's close to the body line, so it'll be a little bit difficult to do, but we'll get that done. The rest of this looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Now, there's still a couple bumps or dents, I guess, if you want to say. So maybe we'll try to fill those spots in as well. But I guess the biggest concern, and it might be the smallest area, is these little tiny bumps that you guys can see here, these little pits. So what we're going to do is, we have another one here, a couple down here. So what we're going to do is just kind of sand all this down again, because we had to throw some primer on there so it didn't rust. And we'll basically just fill in all these little imperfections with some Bondo. We'll use a razor blade to kind of get the little areas in. We don't need a lot. So then we'll do a final sand on it, and we'll probably rattle can the whole thing today as we let it sit a couple days before paint, because this is a quarter panel and I don't have the space to do this in my garage. So I have to have a body shop do it. So I'll be taking it back to Wayne's, and they're gonna make sure that this car is perfect. Alright, so we were able to get it 95% of the way there yesterday, and it took about 8 hours. The final 5% has taken about 3 or 4 hours at this point, and I think we're finally good. Everything is perfectly smooth. There's no more dents, there's no more issues or anything with it. We got the Bondo, we got a nice sharp body line here, and we're looking good here, guys. So we're gonna sand the rest of this down. We're gonna hit it with a 120. We'll get it to 180, 240, 320, and 400. And we will throw primer on it in order to make sure that it doesn't rust and that there's no issues. So we'll cover this whole area up, and we'll let the body shop kind of prep the rest of it for paint outside of what I'm going to be doing now. So I think it came out really good. You know, actually we'll give you a quick door shut. It looks pretty damn good, guys. I'm really happy with it. Happy with the way it came out. I think it came out phenomenally. It's just, we're learning as we go. It's not going to be perfect. We knew that, but I am thrilled with this. Side note, though, while I pulled this out, or had this pulled out, all the body work and everything that I had to do with it, the work that was involved with getting it just to this point was monumental. There's so much that I had to do with it, and I'm not certain that it's worth it. I don't know for sure yet because I haven't replaced an actual quarter panel. So maybe when I get to my next build or whatever I do after this, eventually I will have to replace a quarter panel, and I'll be able to see what it's like to replace a quarter as opposed to simply just pulling it out and doing all this, because I mean, repairing this took about 20 hours worth of work. Worth it? I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you guys think? Let me know. Drop some comments down below because I want to know what your guys' opinion is on it. It's not going to be perfect, but instead, you know, I pretty much spent about $200 getting it pulled out, body work and the filler and everything. It cost me about 50 bucks. So I'm in at about $250 right now. The quarter itself would have been $375 from a used parts place. And it's something that if I'm doing it myself, it's probably worth it to do, but I don't know. I gotta see. Gotta learn how to weld. That's the most important thing that I have to learn next. All right, so we got it down to 60 right now. The whole thing's sanded down to 60. So we'll hit it with the 100 to take out the sanding marks from that. Then we'll hit it with the 180, take out those sanding marks, get it up to the 240, and then finally we'll get it up to the 320 and we'll drop some primer on it. Alright, we started with the 60, hit it with the 100, went up to the 180, 240, 320. It's completely sanded down now. I'm not going to be painting it, as you guys know. I'm going to be taking it over to Wayne's. What I will be doing is hitting it with some primer just to prevent it from rusting, and that'll be that, guys. So we are good where it is right now. A little bit windy, so I'm not certain how it's going to do today, but we'll give it a shot. You know, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be pretty at all, but no, I'll hit it right now. Shatty. That's gonna do it for today's episode, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned a little bit. If you guys see something that I did wrong, please let me know. I'm learning as I go. This is the first time doing body filler or anything of the sort. I think it came out pretty well, but please let me know what you guys think. Did I do well? Should I have replaced the quarter panel? What do you guys think about all that stuff? So if you guys are new here, hopefully you guys will learn alongside me and learn as we go. That's what we do on this channel. So hopefully you guys will subscribe. And everyone else, thank you guys so much for being here and continuing to support me. So please smash that like button, comment, interact with me. Make sure you guys have that bell ring down below. That's your post notification symbol. That way you guys stay up to date on the build and everything else that goes on this channel. Also make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere else where you see that DIY Salvage Guy logo. That way you guys can always interact with me. I will always get back to you. Also, make sure you guys check out the new merch line. We just launched it. All proceeds 100% go back into the build, into the channel. 100%, so that I can give you guys better and better content every single day. Hopefully you guys can be inspired by this, by the DIY type nature of this channel, as to learn as we go, and just pick up a wrench, buy a car, do some body filler, and just try to become a DIY salvage guy yourself.